tomorrow's Valentine's Day, but that's not the big event. The big event is what the cosmos are doing. What's going to happen is Mars is going to be at 0 degrees, Pluto 0 degrees, Aquarius conjunct. This is about real love. This is about breaking up. This is about leaving the one that's not treating you the way you should be treated. This is about breaking up with the attitude inside of you, if you are currently single, that keeps attracting situations that do not honor the soul you are. This is about falling in love in the biggest way with yourself and another. It is about the other. Here's the thing. I'm going to go through the whole cosmic signature because it's like a 2-week thing that is so fabulous. And the thing is, you're ready. You've been working on it. What part of what gets you ready for this is Chiron and Aries. You've been working on the ego to put it in alignment with your heart and soul. Whoop, whoop, whoop. It's awesome. It's juicy. It's what you need, but there's more to it. There is more to it. And here's what it is. Yogananda said this, and it's so true. He said, we either go into an ashram, become a monk, a nun, or get married. Marriage is the ashram. I know this is, I don't know. I'm not going to project, but this might not be the most popular thing to say. But we humans are not intended to be by ourselves. So I'm going to talk to all my peoples that are in their late 30s and 40s, that are just wandering around, playing around. And I'm telling you, the longer you wait, the more baggage you will have. And it isn't baggage from ex-husbands and wives. You will become the baggage. I know it's harsh, but it's true. That the reason we have sacred union is so that we can improve. There is nothing like having someone who totally loves you to be there as the mirror. One of the greatest gifts of my marriage with Tony is that I know he knows me. I can't really get away with my bullshit, and it makes me better, and I'm that way for him. And you just and sacred union teaches you how to be a lover of the world. It teaches you how to love each other. That's what the sacred, and we're never too old for this. Even if, we've been married. I mean, my sister-in-law is a perfect example. My brother was the love of her life. And I remember when she was in the Modern Priestess, I said, you're going to love again. And this is probably about 1.5 years after he'd gone. And she goes, oh, Mars. And I'm like, Mars knows. Now, look at all my hearts. So my birthday's today. I am such a Valentine lover, right? But I'm an Aquarius. It's not about having this love from you to me. It's about the love I have from me to me that helps me love you and really benefit from that sacred union. So the cosmic signature right now is as simple as this. Tomorrow, Mars, Mars is the ego. And Aquarius is like, how does your ego bring love to the universe? And you might say, the collective, the community, the people. And you might say, well, Marcia, what has that got to do with that we need to get married and we need to be in love? Because that is the vortex where you are fine-tuned. It's in the promise. I promise never to leave. Now, here's the thing. As someone who had a lot of abandonment and wounding in childhood, like all of us, it was hard for me to really, oh my God, my sister-in-law is just now popping in. Anyway, as somebody like yourself that has a lot of wounds, it has taken me the full 30 years, and there's still so much more to go, to really receive the love that God is bringing through Tony to me. He is my greatest assistance in being able to love better, right? And he actually teaches me to love me. I'll never forget one of the times he and I were driving when Treasure was a little girl. We'd been together a few years, and he was telling me, gosh, he was giving me one of those love speech, how wonderful I was and how wise. And look, I'm even making fun of it. It was so hard to take. And that was a lamppost for me. And I remember Magdalene, I felt like she was in the Volkswagen van with us, sitting between us, looking at me like, are you listening? Listen to this. And she was all up in my resistance to be loved, my resistance to be praised, my resistance to hear the truth about me. And if we don't fix that part, we won't be able to really benefit from constructive love criticism, because that's a part of it too. But staying with the compliments, all that resistance, she said to me, I'll never forget this. She says, you love him? Mm-hmm. You trust him? Mm-hmm. Then don't you disrespect him by not believing what he's saying. And so that is part of what a sacred love does, right? They help us know who we are, see what the observer is of us, and help our soul, because they're really picking up on the soul, especially when you're in love like that, so that we can embrace and have that. Once that starts happening, you get to relax in love. You know he's never going to cheat. He's never going to leave. Yes, he's going to rattle your cage and you're going to fluff his feathers. And there's going to be times, and it still happens to this day. I remember a couple years ago, I got so mad at Tony because he's such a baseball player and he was hurting his body. So I decided to play the wife card. You will not play baseball. I am putting my foot down. And he looked at me and he said, I need to work this out myself. I need you to love me. So it's this deep connection that love and sacred, it helps you become the version of you that God intended. And so, and it's because we're not intended as human beings to wander the earth alone. Not all creatures in the cosmos are like us. Not all have family the way we do. We are unique in our own way of reproducing ourselves and being attached to our mamas, and the papa's supposed to stay, and then that's not been happening, and so now we're all wounded, and people are on drugs and alcohol, so we feel deserted. All of that is playing into the part of the perfect you. And in your sacred union, you get to heal that. And not only just heal that, you get to go far beyond who you think you can be. That's what love can do. So the cosmic signature tomorrow, it is about, if you're single, break up with that shit of making your mate so high, so impossible to meet, that you don't have to deal with it. Because that's what you're doing. I hear but I just love me. That's why he needs to be super rich and this and that. I'm not saying you can't have good things, but you know who I'm talking to. You're ridiculous. Okay? And it's not true. What you're doing is you're making it so you can't meet him because you're so hurt and you don't want to deal with it anymore. I feel ya. I get it. But that doesn't mean it's a good idea. Okay? For those of you that are still lingering in a relationship that's been over for months, some of you years, today is a good day to come to the realization and decide to leave. The action may happen next week or in the next couple weeks, but be honest with yourself, give yourself the greatest Valentine's gift and say, I love you, and we're gonna go. I get it. Right? And for those of us that are in a relationship, oh, please, you think it's as good as it's going to get? Well, honey, you have not even gotten started yet. This is time for you to do a love review, and I will be doing it too. Where is my ego still in fear, still in scarcity, still in needing attention? And where can I upgrade so that Tony's and my love can go to a higher level? Because our union makes Mahan Rajkar great. That is the purpose. It isn't just to reproduce, although I do believe that the greatest reason Tony and I came together was to create Treasure and GDF. It was always in the stars. So as we go through this, it might be kind of like sandpaper on the heart tomorrow and through, Thursday, but stick with it, because on Friday evening into Saturday, we will be getting the benefit of now Venus conjuncting 0 degrees. Now 0 is a Scorpion degree. So we got Aquarius fixed energy and a Scorpio fixed degree holding the love of loves Venus. So this is about having boundaries that create a space for the greatest love of all, that give you the courage to do what you need to do, and also to receive, really feel and receive that love is here and now. Even if you're making space for him or her to come, or you're facing that demon of perfectionism that has kept you out of the race altogether, or you're noticing there's some dullness in your love that you're in currently, but you know it's a keeper, all of that Venus is going to have the answers to this weekend. And then next week, Mars and Venus are going to be together in Aquarius at 5 degrees. They're going to be working on your mind around how the dynamic masculine and feminine receptive energy can benefit your mind and open you up to real love. This is a part of what needs to happen right now. This needs to happen, and if we are, if we're gay, then it's going to be really honing the masculine, feminine between the two of you. That the polarity of receiving and giving is always there. The polarity of dynamic and reception, of magnetic and dynamic, is always going. And we are all going to be fine-tuned. And we need this. We need the benefit of somebody by our side. There is going to be more love connection in 2024. Mark my words. If you have thought, oh God, it's never going to happen, it is. And it's going to happen this year. So if you need a love reading, if you want to know where all of this energy is in your chart, just put it, give me a direct message. But in the meantime, I want to tell you that tomorrow on Valentine's Day, we'll be doing this golden heart, amazing, perfect Kriya for the energy of Mars and Pluto coming together. And on Saturday, we're going to hit it out of the park with some big, juicy Venus Kriyas. It's going to be delicious. I love you so much. I'm so grateful to be born on this day, to be loved by you, by my mate, by God, to have the great blessing of Yogi Bhajan as a teacher that taught my teacher, who taught me to be a Kundalini yoga teacher. We fondly call it the Maharaj method, because every time you learn something, whether it's astrology or a type of healing, it's always going to fine-tune through the color of you. And God named me Maharajkar, which means my harmony comes when I right-size my ego and I surrender to God's plan, knowing that God has a plan that far supersedes or mine. It is so much bigger. And how that really works is that when we are in sacred union, that's what this work in 2024 is going to be about. We are going to be stronger in our community. We're going to be stronger as a collective, because we're going to have someone at our side that is going to help us feel safe, but also encourage us to be the best version of us. Let us know, I think you're a little off base here. We need that. That's what happens in an ashram, right? You have a head monk. You're assigned a brother or a mother superior that loves you, and you're their pet project. And in some way, that's why Yogananda said, well, if you're not going to do the ashram thing, then you need to get married. And it's about the promise. I promise. And a lot of us, you don't have to get loving yourself perfect. You just have to have a good portion. Because your sacred union is going to help you learn more about you, love you deeper and better, and all of that is going to expand. And that is the purpose of the marriage ashram, the sacred union ashram. I love you so much. Hi, Treasure Ingram. I'm just finishing. It was a great talk. Sat Nam to everybody. I will see you on Wednesday for my class, and I love you. I love you so much. Sat Nam.